Welcome once again to another episode of SuppTalk Radio. My guest company today has been tearing up the supplement industry with products such as Core Pump, Fury, Alpha, and ISO. If you're currently using them, great. If not, after the show, you may want to start. Without further ado, allow me to introduce Doug Miller, President and CEO of Core Nutritionals. Doug, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us. I'm happy to be on here to help spread the good word of Core Nutritionals for sure.
Well, great. We're happy to have you here. We have a good following. And, Doug, we've had a few people actually inquire about bringing you guys on the show, and I'm glad we're able to finally facilitate this.
Yeah, me too.
So, Doug, tell us a little bit about the origins of the company.
So the company has actually been around for a very long time. The articles of incorporation are back all the way back in 2004. So, we're looking at about 11 years. We brought out our first product in 2005, which was our Core MRP. And basically how this all happened was I was young, I was in my early 20s, and I was really getting into the sport of natural bodybuilding and, doing a lot of research, myself. I have a biochemistry and molecular biology background, and, I was just very fascinated by the supplement industry and, what's on the market and diet, nutrition. And, I was finding that, a lot of the products on the market were things that I didn't want to use. Just they're not how I would design a product based on, my experiences, my research. And so, I just really wasn't happy with what was on the market. And so that's basically why Core was born. It was started with a $10,000 investment and has, grown, exponentially from that, over the past 10 years and has really become a beast and, more than a full-time job for all of us. So, we're very blessed at the growth, but, it all goes back to, my thing is, I'm building this not as just a profit-making machine like a lot of the other companies. We really want to bring out products that, number one, first and foremost, that I want to use. I'm an athlete again, and so, I'm not going to bring out a product just because I can make a ton of margin on it. I'm going to bring out a product that is, intelligently formulated, and, I'm going to end up sacrificing some of my own margin so that I can bring out really high-quality products. We don't use proprietary blends. That was another thing that was going on in the industry that was driving me crazy. You take a product and you don't know how much of each ingredient you're getting. And so people are sprinkling, the expensive ingredients in there so they can use the marketing claims and then loading it up with caffeine or some other, fillers. And, that's not what we're about, So we're trying to be like the anti-supplement company and, really going about this is full transparency, no fillers, no proprietary blends. We've started the company that way, 10 years ago, and, within the last 3 years, we've really exploded. And, to this day, we still follow those same principles, and, we're never going to bring out a product that, goes against those principles.
Doug, let me say I have the utmost respect for your honesty and candor right off the bat, because it's good to see a company that's backed by science, because I know you mentioned you have a biochemistry degree, which is great. And also the fact that, as you mentioned, your labels are full disclosure, open transparency, whatever name you want to give it. But it's true, though. I wish that more companies would go that route. I mean, in the big scheme of things, I'd love the FDA to make it a mandate that everything should be full disclosure. But again, I think that's, down the road if it's even on the docket. And the other thing, too, I think is very important to say is you mentioned you're an athlete and you're a competitive bodybuilder, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And what federation do you compete for?
So I'm an IFPA pro. So that's the pro organization in the OCB. And I've won the Yorton Cup World Championships, which is, we like to think it's probably the most prestigious, drug-free pro show out there. And so I won that this past year and also back in 2000. I then competed in an NPC show for the first time this year, and I won the overall there. So, I use the state, I don't compete every year. I think, people would like to compete every year. You never make time to make progress. So, I pick and choose, kind of the years that I'm going to compete. And, I'm always training and dieting year round. I live the life, of a bodybuilder. But, I have so much going on with running this business and everything else that, it's just not something that I do every year. It's definitely a big part of my life. But, with Core Nutritionals going the way it's going, that's really my baby and my focus right now.
And I give you credit because there's a lot, obviously, being a competitive bodybuilder and obviously running a very profitable and very popular company as in Core Nutritionals. Doug, let's talk a little bit about some of the products that you have, and let's educate some of the people that are using it, if not should be using your products. Perhaps we can start up with Fury Extreme.
Sure. So Fury Extreme we just came to market. We literally did our launch a week or two ago, and I'm really proud of this product. This is, there's so many pre-workouts out there. It's a category that, is just so saturated, and it's saturated with products that are just, loaded with just stimulants or, just not complete formulas, proprietary blends. What we set out to do here, or products where you need to take 3 scoops to, actually feel the product and get effective dosing from it. And so what we've tried to do is create, and what we've done it successfully, I should say, is create a product that it's a true 1 scoop pre-workout. So you would never need to use more than 1 scoop of this. And there's 28 full servings in a container. So the value you're getting is truly phenomenal here. I mean, the scoops that we use for this product look more like protein scoopers than pre-workout scoopers. It's because it's that loaded of a product. I mean, each 1 scoop has 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. It has 3 grams of citrulline. It has 1 gram of agmatine. It's got 2.5 grams of vatein. So that's just the pump and performance aspect of it. And then you have full doses of, different stimulants in there as well as also, a trademarked and patented time-release caffeine, so you don't get a crash to it. So the feeling, the focus that you get from this, along with the pump in 1 single scoop, not to mention we've nailed our flavoring and it tastes amazing. We're really proud of this product. It's a really great value for what you're getting. And, we tell people that our products are not cheap, but they are a very good value. So you'll find Fury Extreme for $41.99, right? That's what you're going to pay for it. That's our MAP price, our minimum advertised price. Some people might say, oh, that's, most pre-workouts are in the 30s or something like that. Well, if you actually look at what you're getting with our product, the value is much, much higher than what you're getting with, one of those other pre-workouts. And, at first, once you explain that to the consumer, we like to feel that, we like to think that our consumers are very educated and, catch on quickly. They get it. They understand. Like our amino acid product, you can find it for $53.99, but that's 100 scoops. That's, 50 full 20-gram servings. So, compared to other products on the market, our price per active ingredient is better than these other lower-priced products. And, that just goes back to kind of what we're trying to do with this brand. We don't want to just bring out crap products to make a margin. We want to bring out products, that have a really good value and a really smart formula. And I think we've totally done that with the Fury Extreme. And so far the feedback has been, phenomenal. So we're super excited about that product.
And I think as you may have alluded to it earlier, I think the problem is educating people of proper dosages, because as I know, most of the people that they're told, use something with agmatine, use something with citrulline malate, use something with creatine. But a lot of times with the prop blends, as you mentioned earlier, you don't know what you're getting. So yes, there's products out there that may have the same ingredients, not the same dosages, that people are buying for $30. But at the end of the day, looking at your label here, you got, as you mentioned, 5 grams of creatine, 3,000 milligrams of citrulline, 1,000 milligrams of agmatine sulfate. These are dosages that have been studied and should be, proper efficacies.
Exactly. And that's what we try to do. I mean, that is consistent down the line with all the products. You know, our other product that we just brought out recently was our Core Pump. And this product, the feedback has been, you know, it's been off the charts for this. So Core Pump is our non-stimulant pre-workout. So what a lot of people are doing is the Pump Fury stack. I mean, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. So what Pump is the non-stimulant pre-workout. So this is fully, just truly a pump product. You know, it's a muscle volumizer, you know, and a nitric oxide product. You know, in this product, we have another 3 grams of citrulline, another gram of agmatine. But then we also have 2 grams of Hydromax, which is a 65% glycerol, which is a really crazy muscle volumizer, also a patented product. And then we also have nitrosogene, which is a patented product, which is we use 1.5 grams of that, which is inositol arginine silicate. And the combination of those 4 ingredients, if you're just taking that alone, you know, not stacking it, you know, obviously there's no stimulant from it, but the pumps are almost painful. You know, I've never used, you know, I'm a supplement junkie. I love the industry. I love, you know, I use competitors' products too to try them out. And, you know, I love pump products, and I have never used a pump product like this. And, you know, that's everyone who uses it says the exact same thing. And, you know, it's 4 ingredients that are dosed to the max. I mean, you're talking about, you know, well over a 10-gram, you know, serving here. And, you know, that alone or that stacked with the Core Fury is just, it's almost too much. It's pretty crazy.
Now, I know back in the day, going back to the EAS days, dating myself a little bit, I believe that Bill Phillips was one of the first people to come out with a glycerol product, and I know it was touted back then to actually, maybe it was for pump, maybe it was more for skin tightening, but is that still kind of the same thing where it's almost volumizing, tightening the skin?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's a different form of glycerol. They were using glycerol, and then more recently people have gone to a glycerol monostearate. But, you know, the Hydromax, which again is a patented 65% form of glycerol, you know, has greater water stability and therefore potency. And so, you know, it really just, it translates to you know, greater levels of intramuscular water retention is really what you're looking for. You know, it's not going to make you bloated. It's not going to make you hold water, you know, subcutaneously. It's going to draw water into the muscle cells. So you're going to get a lot better results from this form of glycerol. This is basically the you know, cutting edge form of glycerol, as opposed to kind of more the old school, the glycerol monostearate, and even other forms of glycerol. So this is really the form that you want to be using. You know, technology in supplements is a lot different from what it was back in the EAS days. And, you know, I was right there with you using the EAS products when I first started as well. So things have definitely changed and have evolved.
And Doug, with flavors, is one sell better than the other? I know you have a sour apple candy and pineapple strawberry.
Yeah, so people love the pineapple strawberry. You know, I love the apple. I mean, if you like apple, it's a phenomenal apple. It's just for some reason, and we've now brought out the pineapple strawberry and the strawberry culottes in our ABC and both of our pre-workouts, and it just seems like that product is the top seller across all 3 of those products. It really is. It's just an awesome flavor. It's one of those things that you can, you know, just sip on. It's not like something you have to choke down. We really nailed that, you know, pineapple strawberry flavor. But each is own. They both taste really good, and you know, it's just a subjective, you know, thing there. But yeah, I really like the pineapple strawberry as well.
Any new flavors in the pipeline, or we're going to stand steady with these for a little while?
Well, there's always new flavors in the pipeline. And, you know, for our amino acid product, we currently have 7 flavors, and, you know, we're working on the 8th one now. We have 2 of each of these pre-workouts. I would expect that both Fury and Pump, we're going to expand that as well. But, you know, we brought both of them to the market, and, you know, every new flavor that you bring out is a huge capital investment to increase your inventory stores. And so we're pretty strategic about it. You know, I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of new formulas. We have a ton of, you know, new things in the works that I want to bring out. So, if we keep getting the really positive feedback from these flavors, I'm usually of the opinion that I will, start working on a new formula of another product that we could bring to market, and then go back and start adding more flavors in. It's a little bit different when you talk about our proteins because, protein, flavor is so important. So, we like to have, we have five flavors for our meal replacement, 5 flavors for our slow digesting protein, and then a couple flavors for our new isolate. So, the proteins are definitely the ones that we're going to, keep building out our flavors on for sure.
Hey, Doug, since you kind of opened the door about your proteins, let's maybe divulge a little bit into those.
Sure. So we have 4 proteins in our line, and I've always had multiple proteins in my shelf even before I had these in our line, for different times of day. So starting off with Core Pro is a very underrated product because a lot of times proteins just aren't sexy, but this is a really phenomenal tasting product. I mean, we have flavors like peanut butter ice cream and cinnamon roll, and it just tastes absolutely amazing. And again, this goes along the lines of the same thing that we do with all of our products. We're not putting any fillers into our protein, so it's actually truly protein products. This is a blend of protein. This is, a whey casein blend. This also has digestive enzymes and some added MCTs. And basically, this product is, your anytime protein or your nighttime protein. So I use this before bed. I also use it anytime I need to just throw down a scoop of protein just to increase my, protein intake for the day, and it tastes phenomenal. So that's our blend of protein. And then we have Core MRP. Core MRP was the first product, it's been changed, since back in 2005, but essentially what this is this is a meal replacement. And, I wasn't happy with all the meal replacements on the market that were using maltodextrin and other types of fillers, which would be fine for like post-workout. You want that insulin spike. But for a meal replacement, you don't want that. So what we've done, and what's really innovative about this product is it contains an oat and barley fiber mixture, a blend.
Interesting.
So it's a 1-to-1 ratio of a blend of protein. So we actually use the same blend that we use in our Core Pro as the protein blend in here. So it's a whey casein blend, and then it also has, in a 1-to-1 ratio, the protein blend to the carb blend, and the carb blend, it comes from oat and barley fiber. So 2 scoops of that meal replacement is 27 protein, 27 carbs. So it's exactly the equivalent of, having a cup of egg whites and a half a cup of oatmeal. And, really that's what we were going for. So it's ideal for people who are looking to have, they don't eat breakfast. So they're just rushing out the door. It's a great for breakfast. And then, it's also great for pre-workout. I like to add extra carbs, extra oats to it because I eat about 100 grams of carbs pre-workout. So, I'm a little bit on the extreme edge of things there, but it makes great as a pudding. People are making pancakes with it. All you have to do is add a little baking powder, baking soda, and some egg whites, and it makes amazing, protein pancakes. Super versatile protein, meal replacement that I absolutely love. It also has all your vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes. So it's a really awesome product. And in that product, we have flavors like Snickerdoodle and peanut butter oatmeal cookie and, the banana cream. I mean, it really tastes very, very good. And then we have our post-workout, which is our Core PWO. And so here it's, kind of the opposite idea of the meal replacement. You want really fast-acting protein. You want really fast-acting carbs. So we use a really high-quality whey isolate. We also use dextrose and maltodextrin to give you that insulin spike. This product's in a 2-to-3 ratio of protein to carbs, or a 1 to 1.5. So it has a little bit more carbs and protein, which is what you want post-workout. We only have one flavor of this because it tastes so good, and it tastes like liquid Cocoa Puffs. It's just chocolate. And it's a phenomenal product. It also has antioxidants and some added free-form BCAAs, for recovery after your workout. So it's really an all-in-one. The only thing that I do on top of this post-workout personally is I throw some of our core commodities, creatine monohydrate, in with it. We've left creatine out of this post-workout just because some people don't want the creatine monohydrate, and creatine's so cheap anyway, so if people want to buy it, they can just buy it and throw a teaspoon into the product for their post-workout. And then our newest product is our Core Isolate, so our Core ISO, I should say. We have peanut butter toffee and chocolate decadence in this. Again, best tasting isolate I've had. Isolate is usually kind of a bland taste, but these really taste amazing. And, this is full, non-GMO, whey protein isolate, microfilter, cold processed, really high quality stuff, no gluten, no lactose, a really pure, clean, great tasting whey isolate. I personally use this, as like a pre-cardio type of protein. A lot of people use it post-workout when they're adding their own carbs, or if people are going really low carb and want a super fast-acting protein post-workout, this is what they're using. So, we have the full line of protein products. And so, I pretty much use all of these products every day. So it's really a complete line, and they all taste amazing. So we're really proud of those proteins.
So, Doug, I do want to put you on the spot here for a minute again. I'm looking at all these as we talk along. Definitely impressive ingredient panels. Some of them do look a little robust or thick in calories, which is great. Are these to be made more in a blender versus a shaker bottle? Will they blend okay in a shaker bottle, or is it better to do a blender?
All of these work really well in a shaker bottle. The only one that has a little bit more of a texture to it would be the meal replacement, because of the ground oat and barley fiber. Most of those love oats, and I know I personally do. So you actually get a very oaty. There's a little bit of oat kind of graininess to it. So it whips it, in a shaker bottle, it's just a little thick, but it still works great. I do it all the time in a shaker bottle. And in fact, I really like making that into a pudding. It's super good as a pudding. It's like an oatmeal cream pudding. It's very good. But yeah, all of them, they mix very, very well.
Doug, I want to go off the rails just for a minute here and bring up something you mentioned earlier about creatine.
Yeah.
Do you believe in creatine post, or it sounds like you believe, I should say you mentioned post, but what do you feel about creatine, using creatine pre-workout?
Honestly, I like it both. I'm not a big believer in cycling creatine. I think most of the studies are showing now you don't have to load creatine. You don't have to cycle creatine. It's one of those things, you take 5 grams a day and you're good to go. So, I believe in both, to be honest with you, pre and post. As you can see from our Core Fury, we have 5 grams in our pre-workout. So technically, if you're taking Core Fury as your pre-workout, you need to add it into your post-workout. The only reason why that sometimes I like to put it in with the Core PWO is I do like creatine with a bit of an insulin spike. It just helps utilize the creatine a little bit better. But you're really kind of splitting hairs. If you're taking the Core Fury Extreme, there's really no need. I probably use a little bit of an overkill. I put a couple grams in with my post-workout in addition to the 5 grams that are in the Fury that I take pre. That I would really consider taking the Fury.
And again, once again, I think we have to thank our old friend Bill Phillips for having everybody believe that you need to preload with creatine back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. That's why people were really cramping, and they were getting, everyone had, I think everyone's had, a heard of at least a bad experience from creatine, and to this day, people are almost afraid of creatine. Oh, it's hard on your kidneys. Oh, don't you just get bloated from that? And I'm like, no, not if you're using a good creatine monohydrate. It helps you maintain, the intramuscular water, the water inside of your muscles. And, it's not going to be under the skin. It's when you start, stacking it with, 100 grams of sugar pre-workout, like in the old, the old Celtec, that's when you can get that bloating feeling. And so I just try to educate people that, no, that's kind of a myth. I take creatine when I'm competing. I take creatine all the way through the day of the show. I'm on creatine monohydrate. So, it's just that's just kind of an old myth from the creatine for sure.
Now let's talk for a moment about your hormone optimizer, Alpha. Looks like a very good product. We'd love to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So this is one of our biggest selling products. So this is a natural hormone optimizer. We don't like to make, outrageous claims, but we do like to back up what we're trying to, do with this product with blood work. We've done blood work on this product with people pre and post after a 4 and an 8 week cycle, and we've shown anywhere from 20 to 25% increase in test on the low end to people who have actually doubled their testosterone. If they were on the low, if people start out in the lower end of the testosterone, they're at the level, let's say 300. We've shown people going up to 600 or above just on one cycle of this product. And so basically what this is it uses a couple of different really cool ingredients. So it uses the first most powerful ingredient in there really is the 3-desoxy 7-keto-DHEA, which is basically a downstream metabolite of 7-keto-DHEA. It is definitely not the same as 7-keto. A lot of people get that confused. It is a metabolite of it that has been shown to be a very strong anti-aromatase product. And so basically what it does is it acts as an anti-estrogen in your body. And then we also use Basiopsis, which is another mild anti-estrogen that we in this. So you get two anti-estrogens. The test-boosting agents, you got cholecystokinin coming from Forsline, which is a patented version of this, and that has been shown to increase luteinizing hormone, put on lean mass, and then we have N-methyl D-aspartic acid. So everyone has heard of the D-aspartic acid. This is basically a methylated version that has been shown to bind the receptors at 100 times the strength of DAA to activate the cascade, which increases testosterone. So basically the idea behind that is you can use a lot less of it and still get the same results that you do from taking D-aspartic acid, which has been shown to be a really strong test booster. And then we have, really good doses of vitamin D and zinc in there to support those test levels. And then finally we have, 50% L-DOPA in there, which basically helps increase dopamine, which leads to more restful sleep, more, better natural growth hormone production. So it's a really good all-around product. It's basically hitting all your endogenous hormone levels, kind of from a different aspect. And, the people what they really notice is, a bump in libido in, the first week that they start taking it. They feel leaner and stronger, even when keeping their diet exactly the same. You're not going to get, steroid or pro-hormone-like results from this, but if you're eating, consistently, training hard, over the course of an 8-week cycle, you might gain 2, 3, 4 pounds of lean body mass in this. And, as a natural bodybuilder, that's a heck of a lot. And so people really notice, a physique transformation just within one cycle of this. Now, we don't recommend people going above 8 weeks on this. Definitely want to take, time off, after that 8 weeks. We recommend 8 weeks on, at minimum of 4 weeks off, but, I say 8 weeks on, at least 8 weeks off. You want to make sure that the herbs, your body doesn't get desensitized to the herbs and ingredients that we're using in here. So I always say, be a little more conservative on your time off from it. But yeah, I love this product. It's a phenomenal product. It's great for competitors because it gives you kind of that hard, dry look. So that's an awesome product. And then, the other product that we have, which is a really cool product, which we just brought back out, which is our Core Hard. They stack extremely well together, and whereas the Core Alpha, we generally don't recommend that to women because of the strong anti-estrogens in there. Core Hard is perfect for men and women, and what this product is basically a hardening and recomposition product that doesn't contain any stimulants. So you can stack it with any test booster, or you can stack it with any fat burner, and basically it has different ingredients in there to give you that hard effect. And what we're trying to do is some of the ingredients in there, it's got a patented ashwagandha extract, which has been shown to reduce cortisol up to 27% in human studies. It's got phosphatidylserine, which is also a cortisol reducer. It's got DIM, which is a mild anti-estrogen to help kind of balance your estrogen, your good versus bad estrogen levels. L-theanine kind of gives you more of a, a relaxed, a good feeling of, it's almost like euphoria. And then we have NCD in there, which is a beta-2 agonist, which basically helps rev up your metabolism and fat burning. So all in all, together, that product is a phenomenal product on its own, but what a lot of guys are doing is stacking the two together. And then a lot of women are stacking the hard with our Core Burn Ultra. And they both make, phenomenal stacks. Really, you really do notice the physique change. It's not just, placebo. There's real things going on because everything, again, is properly, we use the proper serving sizes of each ingredient. So both of those products are really, really cool products, and, they're definitely some of our top sellers.
So, Doug, what's next in R&D? Is there anything that you've got a very robust product line as it is, but is there anything else people can look forward to down the road?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're always working on stuff. So in addition to always, working on new flavors, one of the things that I'm working on right now as we speak is we're relaunching our Core Burn pill product. So this is our fat burner. Non-proprietary blends are very rare. So this is going to be a pill product. It used to be on the market, but we're reformulating a little bit and updating it with our new, award-winning packaging. And so that will be coming out, I'm hoping, within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Probably beyond that, for our Australian friends, we do a lot of business down in Australia now, and pills are just not allowed in Australia. They're basically considered drugs. So we're taking our Core Hard and we're taking it up even another notch, and we're bringing it out in a powdered Core Hard for Australia. And one product that is on my desk right now that we're deep into the beta testing on is Core Z's, ZZZ, and that's this is our new sleep product. As busy as, we all are, and everyone, seems to always be complaining about not getting good sleep. The formula on this is phenomenal, and so we're just about to get into the beta testing of it. But if it works as it should, this is going to be an amazing product, to help with sleep. So Core Z's is in the work, and then we're looking to do, we used to have a product called Core Test. That kind of got morphed into Core Alpha as our pill version of our test booster. Where down the lines, we're going to look to bring back a powdered version of Core Test that we can sell both in the U.S. and in Australia. And so this will be a test booster that uses different ingredients than Core Alpha so that they could actually be stacked together or run solo. So that's probably, the next thing in the works. So, we're looking at Core Burn, we're looking at Core Z's, we're looking at the powdered Core Hard and, the powdered Core Test. And that's just kind of what's on the tip of my tongue right now. There's always things in the works. We're always trying to, get better. If we find that, one of our formulas, we feel that we can, improve on it, we're going to make that change. We don't just kind of settle with how, even though we might have great products on the market, if we feel we can make them better, we will. And so, who knows? This is the fun part, coming up with the products to really fill the gaps in the market where there really isn't, any, good quality, non-proprietary blend products. That's what we're looking to do.
Doug, and looking at your full product catalog, you guys are pretty much from soup to nuts. There really isn't, aside from the few products that you have coming out, there really isn't anything that people shouldn't be able to find at your store, or I should say, in your product line. So again, it's very robust and,
right.
and a good blend of everything.
Yeah, so we have our premium line, which is, Core ABC, Core Alpha, Core Burn Ultra, which is our powdered fat version, Core Flex, which is our joint health, the Core Fury Extreme, Core Hard, Core ISO, Core MRP, Core Pro, and Core PWO, and Core Pump. So that's our premium line. Now, we also have a commodities line, which, some people may or may not know. And so basically what the commodities line is, it's just basically same principles, full disclosure, obviously, but these are single ingredient products, that have, really good quality, third-party testing, to make sure that these single ingredients, you're really getting what you pay for. Commodities, people just, it's truly a price-driven product, but, a lot of people forget the quality aspect of it. So we really use the highest quality of these single ingredients, but we also bring it to you at a very, very good price for these commodities. And so our commodities are 5-AT, which is basically a downstream metabolite of 7-keto. It's like an anti-cortisol product. Acetyl L-carnitine, agmatine, unflavored, BCAA 2-to-1-to-1, beta-alanine, creatine monohydrate, glutamine, HMB, and taurine. And so these all come as, single ingredients, products that you can kind of, add into and stack with any of our premium line products. So across both the premium line and the core commodities, you really can basically get all your supplements here. There's a few things that, that we don't have. We don't have a multi, we don't have a fish oil or something like that. But, who's to say we won't do that down the line? But we do want to have a complete line. And we find that our customers, once they start using one or two products, they really can appreciate the quality and the results that they're getting. And next thing you know, there's, five or six of our products. And so we want to make sure that we can provide, quality across the board to our consumers.
So, Doug, I want to play a little situation with you if you've got a few more minutes, which I appreciate. I'm a customer. I walk into a store that's carrying your products, and I want to lose weight. I'm overweight, let's say, 20 pounds, give or take. What product or products do you recommend for that type of individual?
Well, to be honest with you, so first of all, I would talk to you about diet, right? And, I am not just a pill pusher. I am a true believer in, kind of the holistic approach. You can't just take a magic pill. And I tell people this up front when I'm in retail stores. There is no magic pill. So I try to talk to the people and kind of figure out what their lifestyle is, and then I kind of go from there, right? And so, depending on, if they're really, they're a businessman, right? They're on the go. They're not eating meals. They're not sleeping well. They're really dragging. They're kind of going through a midlife crisis. I talk to them about a couple things, right? Besides actually trying to get proper meals in and, taking care of yourself and getting sleep and things like that. I talk to them about Core MRP. People don't think of that as a weight loss product, but, you really can use that as a meal replacement supplement. And, people need to be eating, multiple times throughout the day so they don't binge because they get so hungry. And so the MRP would be a great product. Then once they get the basics in play, in addition to a good multivitamin and fish oil, then, you can talk to them about something like the Core Burn Ultra as our thermogenic, our powder thermogenic. And then, finally, a lot of guys, that I find, and women, have, some type of hormonal issues. And, I say to them, go talk to your doctor, make sure you got checked out and there's nothing, seriously fundamentally wrong. And if everything's good, then, trying the Burn Hard Stack or the Burn Alpha Hard Stack if you're a male. We find that if people go on that stack and they're trying to lose weight, they'll get a really, good response from that. And then I, talk to them about protein as well. And, the ISO is a great protein because really it is all protein. There's basically no fat, no carbs in it. It's just a pure protein. So it's a very low-calorie option for people who are not getting enough protein. So it's really the combination of all of that. That's the thing. It's like there really is no set answer for, a given consumer. And then, if they're more on the athlete side of things, I try to talk to them about Core ABC for recovery and endurance. There's no added calories, but it kind of keeps you in that anabolic state, through the branched chain amino acids and whatnot. So I know that wasn't an exact answer, but, it's all a process. I like to think that every consumer is slightly different. But, in a nutshell, getting on one of the good proteins, and then, Burn Ultra and Hard if you're a woman, or Burn Ultra Hard and Alpha if you're a male. That's going to be the stack that you're going to really notice the difference on.
what's your thoughts, again, being a bodybuilder, so you're actually walking in the shoes, percentages of diet versus, and I'm going to use diet, food modifications, eating clean, versus the percentage of actually working out?
Tough one. You know, you hear things like, oh, it's 80% diet. Well, I don't necessarily think that's true. You know, I like to say it's 100% diet, 100% training, right? And so you got to really be on the ball with both of those. Again, that's not a direct answer to your question, but I don't really think there is a set answer for that. The diet's extremely important, but if you're just dieting and you're not really crushing it in the gym, you're not going to see the results that you want. And the same goes for the other, vice versa. So I think people need a good balance of both of these. But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, diet is so very important. I mean, I think just a lot of people just take that for granted. And, I truly believe it's 100% diet, 100% training. You know, you got to have one. If you don't have one without the other, you're just not going to get near the results that you're looking for.
No, and I agree, and I appreciate your candor to both answers. You know, again, I have an online store. I have a degree myself in nutrition and exercise physiology. So people are always, first thing, what's the best fat burner on the market? And generally the first thing out of my mouth is, let's break down what you're eating daily and what's your exercise routine like. Because just like you said earlier, if there truly was a magic pill, there wouldn't be anybody overweight.
Yep. Exactly right.
But Doug, as you mentioned earlier, you've been in business for give or take 10 years. What's the next few steps over the next few years? Do you want to continue to grow organically? Do you want to be the next BSN? What's your long-term vision?
Well, we will never be the next BSN, and that's on purpose. So we have a lot of big things in the works. We're doing a lot of international business now. We've become very big in Australia. We're working on some big accounts in the Middle East, and still working on getting some big accounts in Europe. But I mean, we have so much growth to do here in the States. We've gotten to where we are today, really basically from organic growth. We haven't had a real, concerted sales push effort. We haven't done that. I mean, the sales have kind of, it's been a word of mouth type of thing. And so we're starting to add people to our sales team. We moved into a new warehouse back in about 11 months ago, and that was supposed to hold us over for 2 to 3 years. Well, we basically maxed out that space in about 8 months. So we're looking for new warehouse options. We're looking to build our own warehouse possibly. So, we're just going to keep crushing it. We're going to keep grinding, and, who knows where we're going to go, really. I mean, there's just so much opportunity out there, and I think the word is really starting to get out, and I think our consumers are the educated consumers, and, once they start using our products, they don't stop, and they just start using more products. So I think it's going to create good problems for us in terms of, running out of warehouse space and, keeping inventory in stock and stuff like that. So it's just going to be the constant grind for us. But, everyone on our team, I have some great employees, and they all understand what we're trying to do, and they all really live it as well. So, with that, I think we're just going to keep plowing forward with the same mission statement that we have. And, I don't think we'll ever be a BSN, but, I think the sky's the limit for how big we could get.
Doug, if someone came with kind of an open paycheck, would you sell or would you keep the company?
Because there's been some opportunities recently, and at this point in time, I think I would be very hard pressed. I mean, everyone's got a number, right?
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why you're in the game. But everyone's got a number, but I think my number would be way too high because the potential and the trajectory that we're on is just so good. I would be really hard, even if somebody gave me a great offer, I'd be really hard pressed to sell. This is something, I'm only 35. I don't want to retire at 35. I love what I do. I truly do. And, I'd be bored if I wasn't doing this. So, it would be a very tough decision. I would never say never, but, I love Core. I mean, it's definitely a big part of, who we are. And I would be hard-pressed to sell, but, you never know. You never know, and you never know 5 years or 10 years from now or whatnot. But everyone has a number, but at the moment, I love what I do, and, I definitely would not want to get rid of it.
It's your baby and your passion, and I can respect that.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
But Doug, is there, in closing, is there anything else that maybe we haven't addressed? Anything else you might want to tell the listeners about, or?
Informative interview, and I think we were able to get a lot of information out about our products, about what we stand for and what we're trying to do, and even our future products. So, I think at this time, definitely, I think the word is out there, and, I just encourage people to give us a shot, and you'll be very pleasantly surprised, or maybe not surprised at this point, but I think you're really going to love our products if you haven't tried them yet.
Doug, where can people go to learn more about you? Feel free to plug your website, social media, please.
Yeah, sure. So CoreNutritionals.com, we got a great website. It has very detailed information, along with what we're doing with our brand. We try to put out really good information about the science behind our products. So every product has all the ingredients broken down individually, all the science, all the research, all the references, all the studies. You can find all of it there, as well as all the labels and nutrition facts and all that. So go to CoreNutritionals.com. And, some people mistake, it's not Core Nutrition, it's Core Nutritionals. And so just make sure you put the ALS on the end there. So it's Core Nutritionals. And then we're big on Facebook, Core Nutritionals on Facebook. We have probably, close to 60,000 followers there. And we've really been doing a lot starting, probably within the last 6 months, been getting on Instagram. So at Core Nutritionals. On Instagram, there's, constant updates there. There's a couple posts every day with, cool recipe ideas. There are pictures of our, our customers or us training in the gym and whatnot. So definitely follow along there. And then we hope to be launching a YouTube channel here shortly where I get more involved in doing some videos. So, yeah. And then the other thing is we have I'm going to Australia August 10th to the 20th. So any listeners that happen to be listening to this that are down under in Australia and New Zealand, we're going to be doing a big tour down there and training sessions and info sessions and workouts, and it's going to be a great time to promote the brand. So definitely check us out.
Will that be in tandem with the show, or again, just as you mentioned, something independent?
It's something independent. We basically will be traveling around with our distributor. Our distributor down there is Massive Joe's, and myself and a couple other brands are going to be basically traveling to all the different areas of Australia. We're going to be in Melbourne and Adelaide and Brisbane and Sydney, and then we're going to Christchurch in New Zealand and Auckland. And basically we're going to be doing events. We're going to be doing seminars to teach people about proper training, diet, nutrition, supplements. And then we're going to have training events and, obviously promoting our supplements. So it's going to be a big tour. There's going to be a lot more. You'll see a lot more stuff about that on social media here coming shortly in the next week or two. So that'll be a big event for us.
Excellent. Well, Doug, in closing, I just want to say thank you very much for the time you've given us and the listeners. It's definitely been a pleasure. I know I'm definitely a fan. To be honest, I do this myself as well. A lot of times I don't know as much as I should about companies, and definitely will see me buying some products from you folks. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to SuppTalk Radio. Again, visit our websites. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/SuppTalk. Our store is www.supptalk.com. And I also want to thank Andrew at Core Nutritionals for scheduling this for us. Again, thank you. Have a great rest of the week.